You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality interviews, celebrities, and special guests. Hosted by Demetrius Dinny Reynolds. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. For the complete archive of episodes, visit onlyonemediagroup.com and be sure to like us on Facebook at Vigilantes Radio. We welcome all. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds. Enjoy the show.
At dollarseed.com, all of our seeds are only $1 a pack. And we have online resources that teach you all about the rewarding hobby of growing your own plants, flowers, herbs, and vegetables. Imagine the joy you'll feel when your children actually help you harvest your first garden crop, or the pride of knowing you'll never need a florist again. Visit dollarseed.com and grow a little magic of your own for just $1. Dollarseed.com. What could be healthier?
Hello, hello, hello. What is going on, guys? Welcome to another incredible episode of Vigilantes Radio Live right here on iHeartRadio. And I'm your host, Deanie. We have a very special guest for you guys, so you definitely want to stick around for that. And as a matter of fact, text your buddies, family members, or even share it on social media right now and let them know that we are about to dive deep into another interview. Before I bring my guest on, I do want to say if today started off bad, it doesn't have to stay that way. At any point in time, you can turn it around. The same energy that was bringing you down can be used to lift you up. All you need to do is turn it around. The point where you are right now is the point that separates the past from the future. And you are in complete control of that critical junction. If the past hasn't been going well, then move yourself in a different direction. Right here, right now, you have that power. No matter how fast you're going in the wrong direction or how far you've traveled, at any point in time, you can make a U-turn, right? Why would you want to see, or why would you want to waste or use up your time and energy on a journey towards despair? Turn it right around. Turn it right around right now, you know? All I ask. Take that from me. That is my word, and word is bond.
Have you struggled budgeting your finances? Don't worry, you're not alone. HumbledBudget.com, that's HumbledBudget.com, is the help and resource you've been searching for. HumbledBudget.com is a personal finance and educational website with a great variety of topics when it comes to budgeting, taxes, investing, and the popular topic of FIRE, financial independence, retire early. HumbledBudget.com has a goal, and that's to help you reach your financial dreams, no matter what your goals are when it comes to finances. It doesn't matter where you start, where you come from, or where you are right now. HumbledBudget.com can help. What are you waiting for? Take that first step to the financial life you've dreamed of and go to HumbledBudget.com. That's HumbledBudget. HumbledBudget.com.
All right. Again, welcome to the show. You're listening to VRL, that's Vigilantes Radio Live, right here on iHeartRadio, and I'm your host, Deanie. Our interviews are designed to go beyond music, news, books, art, acting, films, technology, education, entrepreneurship, entertainment, and sometimes even a thing that we call the ego. Our interviews are designed to go behind the scenes and into the minds of these incredible human beings. You know, the ones that were out there giving it their all for me, for you, and for the world. Well, I want you guys to meet the dynamic trio behind the Boston sensation, American Ink. We have Nick Falza, Michael Romano, and Aiden Crotty. So let's go ahead and welcome them to the show. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. Thank you so much for having us. We're really excited to be here.
Absolutely. All right. So just so we can get some type of flow of conversations going, there's three of you guys, right?
That's right, yes.
All right. So I'll just wait for three answers before I proceed with the next question, or proceed with with more conversation. Does that work for you guys?
Yeah, that sounds great. We have a little order planned out for answering, so that definitely works.
All right. Cool deal. Cool deal. So just right off the bat, looking into your soul, your music reflects on such a deep spectrum of emotions and experiences. But what's one life lesson that fuels your creative process?
That's an interesting question. I would say a lot of our music and our creative process, whether it's writing or recording, is sort of a reflection on our own, personal experiences, and a lot of that, having to do with just trying to resonate with people, trying to resonate with our listeners, that are going through a typical teenage experience, high school, going into college, a lot of obstacles that come with that. So I think that's the main thing that we try to resonate with people. As far as life messages, definitely a lot of themes reoccurring with not giving up and knowing that you're not alone in whatever you're going through, things like that, of that nature. And I think that it's been great seeing the response we get from people, that they've digested those themes from our music, and it's the right message is being spread. So, but yeah, I think to answer your question, those are definitely some of those themes and messages that we try to spread and keep contagious in our creative process.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, oh, sorry, Aiden.
Michael, all you, Michael.
Okay, thanks, bud. I was gonna say, I think for my part, the sort of ethos that fuels, the music that I make, my contributions to the band is, I don't know, kind of feeling or conviction that I shouldn't self-censor. That any experience or feeling that I have is likely to be experienced by thousands, millions of other people. It's like, and that the more sort of in depth I go into my own experience, my own feelings, the more likely I am to create something that's going to, I guess, hit home with someone who's listening to what I'm doing. So I try to have, really no shame in expressing, insecurities, and the sorts of uncertainties that I think are characteristic of just growing up for anybody, and I think that's paid off in a really big way, especially on our latest album.
Yeah, I'd say on our latest album, it all kind of centered around the theme, the whole title of the album, What I See, What People See. It's all about how you view yourself compared to other people, and how you try to create an image. And it's an anxiety that we all deal with. And like Nick said, you're not alone, and we really want to be able to explore those ideas and that anxiety through this new album.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as creatives, as artists, how do you guys vision yourselves?
Yeah, I would say we envision ourselves in a lot of ways, but primarily, especially in the last few years, we just, we definitely just hope to keep doing what we're doing, expand our audience, our fan base. We definitely envision ourselves just, still spreading the same exact messages across our music, just with a bigger and bigger audience as we can progress. And we definitely obviously see ourselves maturing both musically and, with our personalities. We envision ourselves just sort of sticking together, and keep doing what we're doing, hope for the best outcomes. But we've had such intimate experiences in the past, few years, ending our high school lives and, going into college. And, it's been great to let off the steam with each other, and just keep making music, keep jumping back into the studio for weeks or months at a time. And, being in that creative space is just such a therapy for all of us. And, whether or not it, pans out the way we want, we're definitely going to continue for as long as we can. It's just, it's therapeutic for us.
Yeah, the way I've always envisioned us as a band is as a group of guys who are a lot more than the sum of our parts. I think that we're all, really good musicians on our, based on our own merits, but because we've sort of grown up together, and since we've been making music for probably 7 years now, around that, we have this kind of very deep chemistry with one another, and I think especially over the last few years, it's allowed us to create some really special music, some music that captures really important times in my life, and music that, I mean, at least I know from talking to people who have heard it, the people out there are relating to. And I don't know, I think that I think that's something that we can only do together, and that none of us would be able to do without each other.
We definitely have interesting chemistry. You play with anybody else, and it's never the same, and people always come up and say that to us. And I think in terms of the creative process and how we create, I mean, for me, I like to think about it like, Rick Rubin always says, everybody has that antenna, and it's just about honing it in. And I think, like Michael was saying, we're very open to not being afraid to express our anxieties and certain situations in our life. And yeah.
Absolutely. I believe I heard someone mention that you guys kind of shed the high school years and, went off to college. In terms of like themes and subject matters, did that change much as well?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it changed too much as far as our primary message when we're writing our songs. But again, it's from song to song. It's so different, depending on who's behind the lyrics, and whether it's mixed up, whatever. There's such different perspectives and experiences that can go into a particular song. So it really varies from song to song and from year to year. But to answer your question, I don't think it's changed too much. If anything, it's been even more consistent, just sort of, us sticking with our roots in terms of the themes we write, just, because knowing the reactions those songs get and how they resonate with people. But it's great seeing those reactions and, seeing the relations we have with people across our lyrics and across our message. But, in comparison with high school and college experiences, we are sort of still fresh into college. They're going into, sort of halfway. I'm going to my second year. Michael and Nathan going into their third year, junior year. And it's we definitely all have matured in the writing process with our music. But I don't know if it has to do with the differences that we have in college and high school. But, we're sort of emerging into the real life slowly. But I think that we still have a long way to go with in that sense. So, yeah.
I think that, not too much has changed for me in terms of the themes and, topics I've been playing with. Like, for the lyrics that I've written, they've always really had to do with, there's been deviations from this, but I tend to write a lot about, romantic situations, and all the sort of complex feelings that come along with them, usually, revolving around, insecurity, lack of confidence, sometimes resentment. And I think that on this album, or, since I've gone to college, it's been less a matter of like the topics or themes I've been playing with changing, and more a matter of the way I've been approaching them changing. I think that I've kind of become a lot more, a lot less restrained and a lot more sort of free-form my approach to writing about these things. And on the latest album, I made it a point to not really do too much editing of my lyrics, and so I think that for the first time, the lyrics have been not filtered through my anxieties and concerns about what will sound good to an audience, but instead just kind of direct, raw expressions of how I'm feeling in a given moment. And I think that honestly, my writing's only gotten better for that.
Yeah, I find it kind of weird that you guys say that. For me, it's always, my topics have changed drastically. I think I always wrote a little bit different than Michael did. Michael was always a lot more concise and prolific when it came to lyrics. But for me, you know, it went from experiences just, you know, trying to get out of my room or whatever, just writing about, you know, that to something a lot more broad and trying to touch on multiple concepts and different ideas on the new album. And it's become just a lot more intricate and a lot more, I'd say, emotional, and something people can still really get something out of and relate to.
Absolutely. And wow. Yeah, writing from without editing your lyrics and just like full exposure. This is what you're getting, you know, no apologies. I think that's very brave. So you guys are super special, man, and especially the ones, you know, who are facing anxiety with showing yourself to the world. That's an anxiety within itself. So yeah, kudos to you guys. We are getting ready to play your one of your tracks, Synecdoche, which is a unique title for a track. Before we play it, though, what's the story behind the name, and how does it encapsulate the song's mood and message?
In terms of the name, yeah, Michael, go ahead and answer that one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. I just started talking because I did happen to be the one who named it. And yeah. I don't know that anyone I've played the song for even knew the word before I had written the song. Synecdoche is like a literary device that kind of refers to, you know, using part of something to represent the whole of it. So a sort of stereotypical example would be like if somebody says, you know, like all hands on deck. You know, they're not just saying, you know, they're not just asking for all of a group of people's hands to be on deck. They're asking for also the bodies that those hands are attached to. You know what I'm saying? So it's using hands as, I guess, as a placeholder for, you know, entire persons. So the song Synecdoche is kind of about using, experiences of expressing yourself honestly and being rejected or shunned. And using them as kind of representations or drawing conclusions from those experiences about how you'll always be responded to. And the song is kind of about overcoming that and realizing that, like, hey, sometimes I can, express myself truthfully and honestly, and even if it is, painful for another person to hear, it doesn't always have to be a bad thing.
Absolutely. All right, guys, here it is. Synecdoche. We'll be right back. It's by American Inc. Stay tuned. welcome back again. That was Synecdoche by American Inc. All right. I forgot to mention that we have a tradition called the hot seat, and that's where we invite our guests to perform for us, whether that's rapping, singing, poetry, spoken word, giving advice, playing an instrument, telling a joke. We love dad jokes, or telling a venture from their life, just anything. Or they don't have to do anything at all. So we'll see if the fellas would like to participate. Let's go ahead and welcome them back to the show. Hello. You're back live with us. Hey, guys, do you want to participate in our hot seat?
Yeah, we could probably, we have some interesting stories as far as how the band came together. I was thinking about a specific one where, Michael and I could probably elaborate on, where we both were actually kicked out of the same band in about a couple months apart from each other. Maybe it was actually a year or something, but that led us to form American Inc. So I think we can sort of tell that story. That's the first thing that came to my mind. But basically it was a band program that we sort of all, I'm not sure actually if Aiden did it. I think it was just Michael and I, but we both were kind of put together in a couple different bands, cover bands in middle school. And it was just sort of to find your sound. And it's for kids to be able to play music, the music that they like with, the appropriate people. It's a great program, and it lasted a couple of years with us in there. And then we were paired with somebody who we played with for a couple of years, and we named ourselves 2.5 Drummers. It's just kind of a inside joke of a name, but interestingly, that band we ended up trying to bring Aiden in, more so Michael, because I didn't know who Aiden was at the time. But Michael was trying to bring Aiden in. Sort of, we were trying to, get ourselves outside of the program, start doing our own thing a little bit as we were getting older. And then, sure enough, for that reason, the other member wasn't too happy with it and departed Michael from the band. And a couple months later, same thing happened to me. And then we, a couple months passed by. We didn't talk for a while. Whatever. I got a call from Michael one day. And he said he's been writing with Aiden in Aiden's house. They've been having sleepovers. They want to have, they want to get a drummer in there and see if they can put together their songs piece by piece and form a band. And sure enough, I came over one day. This is summer of 2017. I met Aiden for the first time, and I remember the first song we played together was Dumpweed by Blink-182. We just played a cover because we all knew that song coming in. And from there, everything sort of clicked, and that was the day we formed.
Yeah, I remember, that very first rehearsal. I remember the couple that followed it, and we wrote a couple of songs, immediately after forming, 3 of us that ended up being on later albums. Even before we had all started playing with Nick, we had written a song called God Hates a Damn that ended up on our first EP, and then within the first few weeks of us starting to practice together, we had written The Room I'm In and Needs Me Too, which ended up on our second album. So really just it was really an incredible experience of getting in a room with 2 other people, and even though we were all kind of still finding our voices as musicians and as writers, and in fact had only just started writing a matter of months before, that there was something really special here. I remember us playing for our parents the first couple songs we had written, Needs Me Too and The Room I'm In, and driving home with my dad afterwards, or driving home with my mom afterwards, and them saying, you guys are really, really good. And I was like, we're 12. I don't know about that. but yeah, no, I think they were right in retrospect.
Oh,
Sums it up perfectly.
Yeah. That's dope, guys. All right. So before we let you go, in what I see, what people see, what's one track that you feel best represents where American Inc. is right now?
Ooh, that's a tough question. We're such big fans of this record and the way it came out, especially just because every song represents us in the way that we came in and into the studio with productivity in our minds and just really itching to get things out there. And you know, we put together these songs in such a quick span of time that, you know, you could say any of them represent who we are now. But if there was one I had to choose, I would say probably one of our tracks that was the last one we actually wrote for the album, called "Hanging On." This track, I think, you know, because it was put together so quickly and last minute, for some reason I feel like that speaks volumes, in the sense that best represents, you know, what our minds would do if we just kind of let it go in a sense, and didn't think too hard about it. So I think that song, I mean, it's a very infectious, you know, heart and soul pop punk song. You know, Michael can expand on the lyrics behind it, but it's just, I think that right now where American Ink is, you know, we're still incorporating these new elements to our sound and our production, but at the same time we're sticking to our roots, you know, with that kind of music. And I think that's why "Hanging On" for me is a great song to represent, you know, where we are right now. But, you know, I think everybody will have a different answer.
Oh yeah, I mean, I agree about "Hanging On." I mean, I wrote it thinking, you know, basically Nick asked me to write something that was kind of quintessentially American Ink, and so I thought, okay, well, what would be quintessentially American Ink? Well, probably a song about, you know, clinging to a relationship gone bad, and you know, with a giant anthemic chorus, and you know, some octave solo in the bridge, and so I basically just, you know, try to boil American Ink down to, you know, what was most central to our sound, what most central to our style, and into our into the themes that you know, our lyrics kind of approach. And yeah, no, I'm really proud of it. I think it's one of my favorite songs I've written.
For me, it's got to be If You Wanna. If You Wanna, it has two singers on it. Nick's singing the second verse, and I'm singing the rest of the song. But it was really a step forward for us, because Nick started writing lyrics for our songs, and it's just been so cool seeing his point of view being put down on a song through lyrics. We actually have a music video coming out for that song soon, but it speaks on mental health and just a lot of personal issues that I've struggled with, that friends have struggled with, and it's just about, you know, there's nobody that knows you better than yourself. And if you're going through anything, just listen to yourself. You'll get through it. You know, people are going to be screaming at you, telling you what to do, telling you what you should do, but you know yourself best.
Absolutely. I can't wait to check out the rest of the album. Where can our listeners catch up with you guys online?
I would say our best platform to really know what's going on with us is definitely our Instagram. You know, we're posting about shows all the time. We're posting about our features, as we are about this one. And you know, Instagram is usually the first to hear about a lot of stuff that's going on with us. And yeah, I would definitely say that Instagram is the biggest. And our link tree also just has links to everything, including our website, which is another big one. And that's where you can get our merch half shipped to you. There's infos about all shows coming up, you know, pre-orders about new music, etc. So, you know, our website, which is weareamericanink.com, and then, again, it's ink with an I&K, not incorporated, which we used to be for a few months. But, yeah, I think that our Instagram and our website are definitely the two.
All right, cool. Is there any more, you guys can put them out there. If not, I want to wish you guys much success. I had a chance to check out some of your YouTube, some dope work. And you guys definitely deserve a light to be shined on you. There's something special there, and I just want you guys to keep going.
Thank you so much. That really means a lot, yeah. Thanks so much for having us as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Keep rocking. See you guys soon.
Yeah. Alrighty, take care.
Peace.
On Saturday, September 9th, see live pro wrestling when Pennsylvania's premier wrestling organization, Rise, comes to the Uniontown Mall. With a 7 p.m. bell time, witness the bone-jarring, back-breaking, in-your-face action closer than ever before. Experience the action. Meet your favorite wrestlers. Don't miss the opportunity to say you were there. Tickets can be purchased at the door and through risewrestling.com. That's RYSE wrestling.com. For more information, follow Rise Wrestling on X, Instagram, Facebook, and all your favorite social media outlets. See Rise Wrestling, September 9th, 7 p.m. at the Uniontown Mall. Rise Wrestling, September 9th, 7 p.m. at the Uniontown Mall.
Thank you, my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio Live. All episodes are available for free download, and you can grab it from either Spreaker.com/Only One Media Group, Spotify, Castbox, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, the app Podcast Addict, or over at our website, which again is onlyonemediagroup.com, and that goes for every single show that we've ever aired. If you like to request some music or send something for me to play, email it to vradio@onlyonemediagroup.com. That is V as in Victor. And here's my disclaimer: we are genre free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay but facts alone. And actually, scratch all of that, because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, so deal with it. Just kidding. On behalf of myself, Denny, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word, because sharing is caring. We stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure that you have the best experience here on our show. Be sure to connect with me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Snapchat, TikTok, at all social media sites, as well as Spreaker, YouTube. We always follow back. Okay, well, just remember to put yourself into everything that you do and never stop investing in yourself. Peace, love, grilled cheese, and talk with you later.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds of the duo No Longer the Hero. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.onlyonemediagroup.com. This is a Seventh Sign Regime Rebirth Worldwide Syndicate exclusive.